All right, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about day one of the West Highland Way. So myself, my wife, Christy, and my sister Cindy and brother-in-law Eric just hiked the West Highland Way in June of 2026. Had a great time. If you're not familiar, the West Highland Way is a 96-mile trail in Scotland. We actually hiked it end to end over 9 days. We range in age from 56 to 58. It was challenging, but not overly so. I mean, there were tough days and some weather issues. But today we're going to talk about day one and you know what to expect. And I'm going to start with this. If you've ever been on a big trip, a big hike, you know that it takes, in this case, it took us 9 months of planning from the time we started planning it till we were actually on the ground in Milngavie, just a suburb of Glasgow, ready to go out and hike. And the sense of excitement that you have of finally getting to this day. You've planned for 9 months. You've flown halfway around the world from the United States to Edinburgh. You took a car out to Milngavie. You bought a few supplies. We went to bed about 6 o'clock the night before because you hadn't slept the night before that on the plane. Now you're up in the morning and you're ready to go, and the excitement is palpable among the whole group. It was amazing. You have a nice Scottish drizzle to start out. We met somebody to pick up our bags that they would take on to the next inn. This is all new to us, right? So we're a little nervous about what the process is going to be. But that worked really well the whole trip. The whole baggage movement stuff inn to inn. The bags were always gone. And this is the only day we actually had to meet somebody. And then we're off. And where are we off to? We're walking right through a city. We walk right through Milngavie into town, where you have the official beginning of the West Highland Way, and they got a marker to mark it in a big sign as you get started. And again, we took all the requisite photos, as you can see here, and really like, just got ready to hit the trail. And then you start walking on the trail, and you're like, hey, this is like a city. There's people walking their dogs. There's people riding their bikes, because you know what? You're starting right in a suburb of Glasgow. And so for the first couple miles, you're literally almost in a city park walking along. And you do that for a while. Really enjoyed that part as well, even just the sense that we're off and moving and on our way. We had a plan that day. It was about a 12-mile day from Milngavie to Drymen. Our plan was to eat at the Beech Tree Inn and Beech Tree Cafe. It's about 7 miles along the way, kind of the traditional stop as we understood it for people on the West Highland Way. So that was the plan, and that was the idea. And so we got moving. And after about 2 or 3 miles, maybe 3 miles, you kind of move into more rural area, and you start to feel like, hey, now I feel like I'm on a trail and I'm on this long adventure. We had a couple of episodes of 15 or 20-minute rain, enough that we put our rain jackets on, took our rain jackets off, put our rain jackets on. It was kind of exciting because this is Scotland, right? And so you expect to have that Scottish rain coming through in waves, and none of it was heavy. The excitement about the rain changed as we got further days into the hike, and we'll talk about that in some other videos. But we did eventually move through some beautiful scenery, some mountains in the distance, saw our first sheep and lambs, which we were mesmerized by. To be honest, we were mesmerized by them the whole hike, and got our way to the Beech Tree Inn, which I give a 10 out of 10 as a place to eat lunch on the first day on the West Highland Way. Just a terrific place. They got a spot outside. You can set your backpack and your hiking poles and anything else. A really nice restaurant inside, as well as seating out back in the garden. We were lucky enough that the weather was beautiful by the time we got there, probably 65 and sunny, maybe a little warmer than that. So we sat outside, started out sitting in the shade, said, no, it's a little chilly, moved into the sun, had some great food. There is no reason to pack a lunch on your first day on the West Highland Way. The Beech Tree Inn has you covered. Left there, we had about 5 miles to go. It gets a little more, it go through a small town along the way. We crossed a bridge. I developed significant pain in my left knee, which I have never had before, and I'm happy to say I have never had since. My wife told me, you're limping, with about 2 miles to go. I told her it was my hip, where I have had some pain before, and I know I'm going to need a new one at some point. My sister a mile later said, you're limping. I said, it's my hip. It was not my hip either time. I just didn't want to admit to anybody that I had developed what seemed to be a debilitating problem in my left knee when we had another 85 miles to go the next 8 days. I'm happy to say that went away and never happened again. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was riding on the plane on the way over there. So we got through that, and we finally arrived at the town of Drymen. Beautiful little town. You have to leave the West Highland Way for about a quarter mile and hike down the road into Drymen. We stayed at a bed and breakfast there. We ate dinner at the Clackin Inn, which has been standing for, I think it said 17 something. It's on the photos here. It's been for hundreds of years. Really nice place. Nice place to get a drink. Nice place to get dinner. Like most of the towns on this hike, they're not. I mean, there's not a lot to do in the town other than eat and drink and stay in your inn. I mean, there's not. This isn't like you're stopping in Glasgow. You're kind of in a small little town, which was perfect. We did walk around the town afterwards, which I was proud of us for since we'd already walked 12 miles that day. But anyway, day one of the West Highland Way. It's kind of the I don't know, the intro, right? Like really, we're not in the Highlands yet, and the hike was very level, and had some scenery, but not the kind of scenery that we were going to see later in the trip. But we were excited to get going, excited to be in Drymen, and really just excited to have that first day under our belts and get ready for day two, which I will cover in my next video.